Hello my friends. After hunting wild animals such as white-tailed deer, wild turkeys, waterfowl or wild boar, hunters and farmers in the United States will use the meat of these animals for a variety of purposes. However, most of them will be processed into dishes, and in many states of the United States, the trend of catching, cleaning and cooking wild animals after hunting is an attractive outdoor activity attended by many different hunters and farmers. It is estimated that in 2022, there are 15.8 million people licensed to hunt in the United States, and during that year, the market size of the hunting and trapping sector reached around $857 million. In the process of hunting wild animals in the United States, in addition to basic skills such as marksmanship or outdoor survival skills, hunters and farmers also need to be knowledgeable about the behavior and habits of the animal they are hunting. For a wild animal as wary as the wild turkey, hunters need to understand the different types of calls the animal makes in order to call them closer. In addition, this skill is considered to be the most important. This is the ability to camouflage and choose the appropriate decoy placement. The wild turkey is an upland game bird native to North America. Today, this animal is distributed mainly in countries such as the United States, Canada, and Mexico. In the United States, wild turkeys are found in almost every state, with the exception of Alaska. Among them, states like Texas, Missouri, and Alabama are the states that are said to have the most abundant wild turkey populations. These are also the states that attract a lot of hunters to hunt this creature. According to estimates by the National Wild Turkey Federation, there are now about 6.9 wild turkeys in the country, and around 33% of them are distributed in 3 states: Texas, Missouri, and Alabama. Wild turkeys usually live in flocks of 15 to 30 individuals, most of them hens, and each flock usually only has one male turkey to lead his flock to other feeding areas. In winter, when forest foods such as acorns, berries, or insects become scarce, male turkeys often lead their flocks closer to fields where humans cultivate to feed. This is also the biggest problem that millions of wild turkeys cause farmers. In 2022, Texas soybean and sorghum farmers said wild turkeys cost them nearly $9 million. Herds of wild turkeys came to the field and ate all of their produce just before the harvest took place. In areas where wild turkey populations are abundant, wildlife experts often set up traps to move them to areas with fewer populations. This also helps maintain a healthy balance between the turkey population and the existing habitat. As an upland game bird, areas with abundant wild turkey populations attract quite a few hunters, especially in the spring and fall, when wild turkeys actively breed and feed. To hunt wild turkeys, hunters need to place decoys in open areas. Next, they'll need to camouflage and mimic turkey calls to lure wild turkeys closer. Male turkeys are often very aggressive when they detect a decoy, and they will repeatedly attack these fake turkeys and let their guard down. This is also the right time for the hunters to take down these birds. Depending on the regulations of each state, each hunter will be able to collect a number of wild turkeys. However, the average hunter in the United States will be allowed to hunt between 2 to 5 wild turkeys per season. After hunting wild turkeys, hunters will bring them home for meat, and the best cuts of meat, such as turkey breast and thighs, will often be prioritized for processing. There are many ways to prepare wild turkey, but for hunters, the most common dish they make is deep-fried turkey. In addition to wild turkeys, wild boars, after being hunted, will also be processed by hunters into many dishes. However, the number of people who eat wild boar meat is not that high. Wild boars are omnivores. They are even sometimes cannibals. In addition, this is a wild animal that carries a lot of dangerous parasites, so their meat is not popular in the United States. Many people think that sending wild boar meat to a charity is a good idea. However, they don't know if the wild boar is infected, so this practice is not usually encouraged. Many farmers think that they just need to shoot a few wild boar and throw them on the open ground. The next morning, their carcass will be cleaned up by other wild boars. Although wild boar meat contains many pathogens, many hunters and farmers still love the taste of this meat. They often use the meat of the female wild boar to make dishes such as grilled, stewed, or boar in soup. In addition, wild boar meat can also be divided into portions for long-term preservation or divided among people who have a preference for this meat. Another animal often targeted by hunters and farmers in the United States is the bobcat. Basically, the bobcat causes conflicts with many farm animals in the US, like a coyote, but with much less frequency. When it comes to hunting, cleaning, and cooking in the United States, we can't ignore the waterfowls that often appear in this country. According to the US Fish and Wildlife Service, there were 989,500 waterfowl hunters active during the 2021-22 season. They collected nearly 10 million ducks and 2.7 million geese. Each year, waterfowl and upland bird hunting in the United States contributes up to $4.3 billion to the nation's GDP. Hello my friends, today we are going to the vast chicken farms in the United States to see how they produce billions of tons of chickens and billions of eggs each year. According to statistics, in 2002, the United States produced 3.2 billion tons of chickens and around 97.3 billion eggs. In recent years, the United States and China have always been the two countries with the largest meat and egg production in the world. Here's what's going on at an incubator on a farm in Pennsylvania. thousands of eggs will be brought here and incubated for about 19 days. Each incubator of this farm can hold around 71,000 eggs in each incubation. Currently, the United States has about 229,000 chicken farms. These are distributed mainly in states such as Iowa, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Ohio. After 10 days, the eggs will be moved through a scanner. The scanner is responsible for detecting and removing eggs that cannot be hatched. In order to maintain the temperature and help the cells inside develop in the most stable way, the eggs will be turned automatically, and this is pre-programmed on the equipment of the incubator. Next, the eggs will be moved to another machine. This machine is responsible for injecting an organic vaccine inside the egg. This is not an antibiotic at all. Once the testing and vaccinations are complete, the eggs will be sent to the incubator again, and in a few days, adorable chicks will be born. Right after hatching, the chicks are able to eat and drink immediately because the feed and water were put in the tray a few days earlier. About 518 million chickens are born in the United States each year. After a day in the incubator, thousands of chickens will be brought out and begin a new journey. Weak or crippled chicks will be discarded, and they will be sent to another production process. For a lot of people, this seems cruel, but it is a fact that happens every day on large-scale chicken farms. The healthy chicks will then be moved to official farms. At these farms, workers will use wood mulch to strip the ground. This is very good material in regards to poultry farming. It has the effect of absorbing water in chicken manure and limiting odours. Our main characters have appeared. With a large space, the chicks can freely move and play. The main ingredients used to make chicken feed are healthy beans, corn, some industrial bran, and other fibre. Every year, chicken farms in the United States consume about 48 million tonnes of soybeans, equivalent to 40% of the country's soybean production. After 2 months, all of the chickens here weigh around 4 pounds and are ready to be harvested. At this time, they will be living in a place higher than the ground. This makes it easier to collect manure and keeps the floor of the chicken coop dry at all times. Newly laid eggs will be moved to the trays through an automatic conveyor system. Here the eggs will be carefully arranged and ready to be transported to restaurants and supermarkets. In 2022, the average American consumed about 286 eggs each year, and this number is forecast to increase to 291 eggs in 2023. In addition to raising chickens to lay eggs, large farms also raise millions of chickens to serve the demands for meat. When these chickens reach 6 pounds, the harvest will begin. This machine is used to put the chickens into plastic trays, which are then transported to the chicken processing plant. This is what happens at a chicken processing plant. These images may make some people feel uncomfortable. In this chicken factory, the chickens will be hung upside down and dipped into boiling water before coming to the process of cleaning their body of feathers. Chicken legs and chicken necks are also cut by fully automatic machines. Their organs are also completely removed before the chicken is released into the tank to be cleaned and disinfected. Chicken wings, thighs, and chicken breasts are also then separated and packaged before being shipped to supermarkets. In large-scale chicken farms, the life cycle of a chicken usually lasts only 3 to 4 months before it is sent to the meat processing plant. How do you feel about the process of raising and harvesting chickens in this video? Let us know what you think in the comments section of the video.